Hello. What is up? Today we're going to be reacting to a video by Rima Evanstar talking about Gumpai trying to rebrand. Um, if you don't know who Gumpai is, she's basically a VTuber that did some sketchy stuff. I'm not good at explaining things. Just go watch Rima's video on her and you'll understand. I am blocking Rima though. Let me like get like right here. Yeah. Or actually, I'll move over here. Yeah. I'll just get yeah, right here works. Okay, here we go.
Gumpai, on which I made a video on, has sold her model and rebranded. I spoke about it briefly the other day, right? She's selling it for 2.2k, but now she's also made several tweets on a topic. So she says, "Hi everyone, I know this is coming out of nowhere. This is her new account, but something happened recently. I feel the need to clear everything up. To be upfront, I am a reincarnation of another VTuber and was previously a very controversial person for many
Hold on.
reasons. I had lied, bullied."
Pause. If you're going to rebrand, like completely, why would you go and tell people that you're rebranding? Just start over. I understand, like you might want your audience to still be there, but like just start over if you gonna try to rebrand, especially when you do something like what she did.
And overall did many things to upset a lot of people. And now people that previously were victims to my past behavior have found me again. To those people, I want to apologize wholeheartedly for my past behaviors and mistakes that I have made. I recognize that I have hurt you and many others, and while my apology alone won't make up for it, I vow to make up for my past mistakes with future growth. I would also like to apologize for my new followers for lying about being new to this space, and I hope that you can all forgive me and have patience for
Ah,
me.
so she did, and people found out about it. Well, you gotta do better than that. Look, I'm not saying, that people should hide who they are or whatever, who they are, whatever. But if you are, going to come out and do stuff, lie, bait people, say you have a boyfriend, say you don't have a boyfriend, knock people for having a boyfriend, then go get a boyfriend and act like to your audience, that you don't have one. Which, if you're in a relationship and you're a VTuber, do you. Do you. But don't talk about people and say, oh, if you're a VTuber and you're in a relationship, like shame on you type stuff. I don't remember the exact tweet, the exact thing that they said, um, but I do remember that. So if you're gonna do that, you know, if you're going to bait people, be like, oh, like whole girlfriend experience type thing, you can tell people, that you're in a relationship, but don't knock other people for being in a relationship if you're not going to tell your friends, other VTubers, if you're not going to tell your friends or, your community, if you're not going to tell them that you're in a relationship. Because you done built your whole thing off of not being in one. So, anyway.
From this sudden announcement. If any of you decide to unfollow me, knowing all of this, I understand completely. I want to keep streaming and being a VTuber. It's what I love doing more than anything, but I recognize that to do so, that I must be accountable for my past actions. As Mirio Maki, I promise that I will never repeat my past mistakes and I will continue to prove that I've changed and continue on this new path of positivity. I appreciate and I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of my followers, and I hope that you all love this new me. Locking the replies for now, as many have asked. The hidden replies are from people that are still upset with me, and I do not blame them. They have every right to feel that way, and I will not hide any valid criticism, but I don't want my replies to be filled with personal attacks. I also like to say I'm not going to hide who I was anymore. I was Gumpai, but I'm not her anymore. All I ask is that you're patient with me as I re-earn your trust. I acknowledge all my past wrongdoings, and I will prove that I have changed for the best. If anyone chooses to no longer support me, you have every right to do so. What I did in the past was incredibly wrong and hurt many people, and apologize wholeheartedly for everything that I've done. My past actions were unacceptable. I understand that actions speak louder than words, and I hope that going forward my behavior will prove that I have learned from all of my past mistakes. Many of you will never forgive me, and that's okay, but I will do everything to prove that I've learned from my mistake. So far, so good. But Lumi points out here, she said I'm not her anymore, but this was posted on June 27, 2025 on your deleted private account. So just a few weeks before, she posted this from her Zuba account saying, it's okay to dox people who were doxing me. I didn't know it would get bad, right? It's okay.
What? Girl. Oh my God. Why? Common sense just don't common sense for these people. Why do y'all behave like this? And then they gonna put a poll, put a vote up to say it's okay to dox people who are doxing me, right? Girl, y'all learn some common sense, because this behavior right here is the behavior of a ignorant child. I don't know if Gunpai, Mario Maki, whatever her name is. I don't know if how old they are, but this is the behavior of an immature child, of a ignorant child. Talking about it's okay to dox people. It's never okay to dox people. Even if somebody doxes you, this still not okay for you to do. So let's not sit up here and pretend like, I didn't know that it was bad to dox some girl. Girl, what is that? What is that? What is this behavior? Pujab, what is this behavior?
To send you their full name, address, and zip files of them jerking off to me, right? This is sort of an immersion break, but I just wanted to say my roommate has a boyfriend. Some of the DMs I'm getting have been written in assumption that she's available. We don't want to get anyone hopes up. He has access to this account and the other account I use for VTubing too. Haha, he helps me commission other artists as well. I hope this isn't too disruptive. He's basically our manager. Will Shondo be proven right once again? Manager and boyfriend in the same two tweets.
What?
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I keep pausing. What is up with people having their boyfriends be their manager? What is with that? Like, I understand, want to keep the success in the family or whatever. If he maybe, if I'm doing so well, he can just work for me, and then, we work with each other. That only works if you're, stop doing that. Stop involving, there are certain family members, certain people that you have into your life, partners and stuff, that you just cannot involve in what you got going on. Have somebody else do the managerial role. Okay, we saw what happened with Cinder. Her man decided, well, according to her man decided to go behind her back and was texting Nino, talking about your art wouldn't be as valuable if, everybody has a Nano model, this is that and the other, and she's in competition with Silvervale, and Shy Lily didn't shout her out on the when she did it right. Like, stop bringing people that have a strong emotional attachment to you in. Stop putting them in roles to act upon your behalf if you don't wholeheartedly trust them. Wholeheartedly. Because y'all saw how fast Cinder dropped red. But also, just don't get somebody else to do it. Hire somebody else to do it. You can hire them for probably the same amount of money that you're gonna give to your boyfriend or your partner for being your manager. You can hire somebody else to do it. Stop hiring people that have an emotional attachment to you. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Oh no! Ding ding ding! I feel like we're all traumatized by these tweets. This is the Discord announcement. I got into VTubing because I want to express myself anonymously and express my personality through the games and media I consume. VTubing lets me organize space and schedule my games backlog. Here she says, I will avoid engaging in any drama. I won't talk about my personal life in details or specifics, nor mental state. I will do my best to rarely ever post IRL photos of myself or my surroundings. Exceptions may come up for desk upgrades or any tech related. I would like to remain anonymous. I want my VTubing activities to be separate from my roommate IRL activities. Wait, is it an actual roommate?
It's not. So it's never. It's never an actual roommate.
I don't know, because you know how VTubers, they refer to their personal life as their roommate, or their IRL life as roommate. So is her roommate just her, or is it an actual roommate?
Yeah.
The people I interact with on Twitter, VTubing does not mean I endorse their belief. I like befriending on diverse amounts of people. That's fair. I will not mention any IRL topics that affect real people. I will only talk about fictional politics and drama happening in games or media that I consume. And I apologize for cutting any conversation abrupt when these topics come up. She really wants to stay away from drama. There is a dude that actually bought Gumpai's old model already. Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Who bought the model?
Speculations? When was
Who
this?
bought the
That was in
model?
April. That's actually sad though, if it is true. We don't know if it's true. I have to make a huge disclaimer here because these are allegations. But apparently, an ex-Gumpai fan may have taken his life. The person I'm quoting is an ex-Gumpai fan. This is his last tweet, and the images are the tweets before it was posted 3 days ago. I fear the worst may have happened. No matter what anyone says, I will forever denounce romantic parasocialism. Yeah, this was a few months ago. It was in April. I'm all alone this time. I'm 3 hours away from my parents. They can't stop me. I want one last hug, but there's nobody around me. I'm all alone. Oh, this is so sad. This is nobody's fault but my own. I'm not blaming anyone for the way I feel. It's my fault for being a pathetic idiot and getting too attached to someone I barely knew.
Hold on. We have to skip this. Nuh-uh. Hopefully this is not the case. You know, I'm sorry to that person, but I can't. We got to skip some of this. We don't have to skip that. I can't. Especially with it just being allegations. Like, meanwhile, even right now, Gumpai just doing her online activities like the whole thing is a joke. And that's all it is to her. The VTubers themselves rarely suffer any meaningful consequences for hooking their viewers up romantically while not thinking about them as much. And in this, she's like, I'm not racist. I'm sure you know Latinos have their... What? The Asian countries. Anyway, my VTuber doesn't look Asian, so race is not mattering in my VTuber world. Girl, what's happening?
So there was a little I could do. I feel a pit in my stomach as I write all of this. No amount of positives in parasocialism are worth this. Meanwhile, even right now, Gumpai just does her online activities like the whole thing is a joke, and that is because it is to her. The VTubers themselves rarely suffer any meaningful consequences for hooking their viewers up romantically while not thinking about them as much. But did she make promises to this person? Like, what was their relationship, you know?
Yeah.
What if the VTuber just doesn't have a boyfriend? It matters not. The viewers take the relationship much more seriously than the streamer. CMM is not the only example I've seen by far. Simply put, a VTuber losing one fan is not the same as a fan losing their one VTuber. I guarantee you that every single VTuber that invites romantic parasocialism is also inviting at least one person who will end it all if their commitment to them is not equal.
What? Okay. Alright. Okay. Some parasocialism is okay. Right? Some of it is okay. However, I do not... Ow. I just bit my tongue. I do not believe that romantic parasocialism should be a thing. I'll be like, love you, bye. Right? Because I believe that everybody needs to be told I love you at least once a day. But also, it's like you can love someone platonically. Under no circumstance should you, as a viewer, feel like you are in a relationship, a romantic, like actual romantic relationship with the person that you're watching, whether it be a VTuber, whether it be regular YouTuber, whether it be any type of streamer, anybody, an idol, anybody, whether K-pop, J-pop, whatever. At no point should you be like, damn, I really got feelings for this person. Like, they don't know me and I don't know them, but I got feelings for them. Like that should not be happening. Um, and I don't blame that person. I don't know what's going on with that person. At this point, Gumpai needs to be the one that's being blamed because she fathered and curated and nurtured that relationship with her viewers. So she is at fault for that. Y'all, do not um do not have like actual romantic feelings. It's okay to be like, oh, I really like them. Like, that they make me happy when they stream, and certain types of stuff they say. They're really happy and joyful and all sorts of other things, and they make me feel good to watch and support. But don't be like, oh, we're in an actual relationship. Like, that's my girl. That's my girlfriend. Please don't. Please don't. Because then stuff like this ends up happening when they don't return, those feelings. But it's their fault because they fostered and nurtured those feelings.
Mean them only, not the collective of their viewers as a faceless entity. I understand that this may be hard to read and accept as either one of those VTubers or one of their fans, but I have observed this space long enough to know that this case is far from an isolated reality, and I'm not about to wait for a second victim to speak up about it. This person replied, I don't like Gumpai, but to be if you're an adult, the blame is entirely on you, and if you're not, then on your parents. He was about 21 according to his tweets, an adult for sure, but definitely still in range to be vulnerable and lacking a support and direction for these things. I was clueless until I was like 23, 24. I mean, we spoke.
And this raises a topic, right? So Gunpei, again, I am not defending Gunpei. I will never defend Gunpei. What she did was absolutely gross. Um, but as a viewer, right? As a VTuber, you have the responsibility of not fostering that type of environment, right? You have a responsibility to not allow that behavior to grow in your community. As a viewer, you ultimately have the responsibility of this just being someone that you're watching. This just being somebody that you like a little bit, so you're gonna support, yeah, enough to support them in their endeavors, watch their videos, buy their merch, stuff like that. At no point should the relationship between I support this person, I like this person. You can even say I love this person in a platonic way. At no point should that cross between I am so deathly dependent on you that if you do not return my feelings in any way, shape, or form, my life is over. Like, there at no point should that ever happen between from viewer to VTuber or VTuber to viewer, or really between anybody. That should not be an occurrence. You should not be that invested to where you feel like your life is on the line, because that is so extreme. So extreme.
Spoken at length about the danger of parasocial relationships. I think it's a tricky field to navigate for sure. I have this metaphor where I compare it, the GFE streamers, to an alcohol store. So the alcohol stores are open during business hours, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every person that goes in there is an alcoholic. So,
Right.
yeah, they do put out the products, but at the end of the day, whether you take too much of it is kind of up to the individual.
Right.
And then when there's other troubles that come in, if they're going through some tough time, if there's psychological illness on top of that, it can get very tricky very fast.
Right.
And it's kind of like, you know, when the bartender gets a customer that looks a little too drunk and they ask for another glass, well, it's also the responsibility of the bartender to be like, hey dude, I think you should just get a glass of water and go home.
Right.
So this is probably a little more difficult to flag if the person isn't very outspoken or if you don't notice them. It's kind of like, it reminds me of that Sheena viewer, you know, the one that said he was quitting Sheena's fan base because he like pulled a loan of like $20,000 just so he could buy her fan arts and stuff.
Wow.
And she was like, it's okay, you know, if this is the stop, if this is your train stop where you have to get off, then that's totally fine.
Right.
So I think also the creator needs to be like, yo, this is enough. It can't go further than that.
Right.
I'm wondering what happened because he's saying he lost her and stuff. But what do you mean? Because she just stopped streaming? Or no, because she didn't stop streaming. She was still doing the Fensley stuff. Did she ban him from the Discord? Has Sheena had to address it on stream to not do that? True, exactly. It was $10,000. Okay, it was $10,000 for the Sheena thing. But still, I mean, he put himself in debt and his family just to provide for somebody he doesn't know. That's
Right.
crazy. Okay. He's upset because he found out she had a boyfriend. Yeah, okay, I get it. Wow. I hope this guy didn't follow through because this is awful. I can't believe I'm just learning about this now. Yeah, the problem is that, yes, I touched and ate too much grass and forgot the Gumpai drama, true. I don't know, I feel like these kind of viewers are... The problem comes when the content creator starts promising things or acting as if they're dating their viewers.
Exactly.
I do think that crosses
Exactly.
a line that is really Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button.
But yeah, go, definitely go watch Rima, you know, subscribe, go subscribe. My final thoughts on this whole situation. One, if she's gonna rebrand, you know, she's gonna rebrand. There's not very much you can do to stop somebody from being on the internet. We see how that happened with James Charles. Anyway, but at the end of the day, right? Parasocialism is okay to an extent. Do not stake your life on someone that you do not know. That goes for you know, streamers and in real life, because it happens in real life too. It's not just with streamers. But that's all I have to say. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. If no one has told you today, I love you and you're pretty. See, right. See, I'm saying I love you because if you watch this video, you're like an amazing person. Anyway, bye.